United States does nothing for theater. The United States government. It's almost all important theater is done commercially, and that's why the ticket prices are very, very high. Ticket prices on Broadway now can be, just from the box office, $175 per person. I don't know if you know how much that is in Romanian money, but it's a lot of money for us. And sometimes it's up into $500, and sometimes with the Hamilton, which is the great big success in Broadway right now, you can pay up to $2,000 for a ticket. It's just a theater ticket for one person. There are, of course, universities, state universities such as mine, University of California. We have funding from the California government, and that some of it goes to the drama department. So we have state taxed money that will eventually find its way to our productions. And we have lower, of course, we can't give $1,000 theater tickets for people going to a college performance, more like $10. But that does get some funding, and a lot of professional theaters that work in states, not on Broadway, but in states, including New York State, will get some kind of government support, but it's really very, very minor. And they go mainly for support from box offices, #1, and donations. And so almost every theater, you get big. I'm surprised to find even in London now, they don't even give out programs. When you go see a theater, you have to buy the program for £5. That was a surprise to me. But in America, we get big brochures, this size thing you get. But mainly it's advertisements for, please give money to this or that theater, because they really beg the audience to donate money to the theater, and many people do, to get their names on their program. So they'll give millions of dollars sometimes to theaters in New York and California and pretty much anywhere in the country. And the theater I work at, I've worked at for many years, is a theater in Utah. Utah's this small state in the western part of the United States. It's in Mormon State, and our theater is called the Utah Shakespeare Festival. I've directed there for many, many years. And this year they put in a $38 million new theater. Now, $38 million is a huge amount of money. It has 2 theaters in it. They already had 3 theaters for the company, but one of them was getting kind of tired and not so well put together. And so $38 million goes all from donations from very wealthy people who live in Utah and wanted to live in a country, or a state rather, that had wonderful theaters, and where people came from all over the state to see 3 or 4 Shakespeare productions and other kinds of productions too. Musical theater is now the biggest theater fundraiser on Broadway and in New York. It used to be that Broadway theaters would be maybe 1/4 would be musicals. Now it's more like 3/4 are musicals and 1/4 are straight plays. And by musicals, I mean musicals with orchestras and singers and dancers and so forth. And so they're very expensive to produce because of that, because in addition to paying a lot of actors, you also have to pay an orchestra and a conductor and all kinds of other technicians, and you have to pay them good deals of money, so they have to raise that money, and they do it by donations and by people who put money out, and then they receive the money if the play is a success. Now on Broadway, only about 1/3 of the plays are a success, but the people who produce the Broadway plays that become a success can make millions of dollars from that. So the financing in America is quite unlike what it is in Europe, and I'm sure in Asia as well.